I'm Kevin Neese, and this is not a Strumstick. Now, that may sound like an odd thing for me to say if you've seen any of my other videos, particularly one that I made about 6 months ago, which was entitled The Strumstick, to which this is a response, and in which I introduced this instrument by that name. Incidentally, the Strumstick video has gotten over 1,700 views, which is really cool. So thanks a ton for that, those of you who viewed it. And I recently got a comment on it that said, less talking, more playing, essentially. And I couldn't agree more. Unfortunately, there's a little bit of talking that I have to take care of before I can do any more playing. And this is it. And it has to do with this being not a Strumstick. I was informed that this is not a Strumstick by one Bob McNally. Now, you may or may not know who he is. He's on YouTube. He's only made a couple of videos, but he is famous the world over as the inventor of the Strumstick. He also has a trademark on the word Strumstick, which I mentioned in my previous video. And he sent me a message. This is probably back in July. And he says, hey, love your videos, keep making them, but please don't call it a Strumstick. And, you know, I talked to him about the whole thing where, it's just 2 words, right? Strumstick, not one word, Strumstick. Doesn't matter. The name is still an infringement on his trademark. And the builder gave it this name. It called it a Strumstick. That's what the builder names it. But by making the videos and using that name, I would be proliferating a trademark infringement, which there are laws in place to protect trademark holders from people who do that and all that. And so, in other words, Bob is perfectly within his rights to ask me to stop calling it that. And by the way, he's a great guy. He's really nice and really helpful and thoughtful, and we've had good exchange, on the email and all that. So, and that's one reason I wanted to do right by him. So, my initial concern was, well, I can't just make up some crazy name because, I can call this a strum box, but so what? People will go and look for it and they can't find it, to get one for themselves or whatever. And really, one of my main motivations for doing this is to get other people interested in playing this instrument in all its forms, and there are plenty. So I didn't see what I could do. So because there was no way to continue, because I always referred to it by name. So what I decided to do, and I told Bob I would do this, is delete all my videos, all my music videos, and start doing other things with my channel, which I'm going to do other things anyway, but yeah, just cut this section out altogether. Well, I never heard back from Bob, so don't think that he endorsed that, said yes, go do that, delete all your videos. He never told me to do that. In fact, he told me to keep making them. It was my idea to delete the videos. And it was shortly after Bob and I had that exchange that I started running into technical difficulties. I haven't been able to post in months. So I didn't want to just take all my videos down without posting a video explaining why. So I'm just now getting to it. But anyway, in that time, I realized that I really didn't want to take my videos down. I didn't want to stop making them. I play this instrument all the time, and I often think, well, gee, this would be good to post, or that would be good to post, whatever. And I'd like to continue doing that. It's a good outlet. So I decided on a compromise that works for me, and that's what this video is about. So that to clear up confusion and to amend my previous videos. So henceforth, I shall be referring to this instrument as, get this, a not a Strumstick. That's right, not a Strumstick, because not a Strumstick. That's what it is. It's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to not be a Strumstick, so it's not a Strumstick. So, no association between this instrument and Bob McNally or the Strumsticks or anything I say about this instrument Anything that I do on this instrument, I mean, has to do specifically with this instrument. Now I'll mention, this is a good tip also, if I give some lessons or whatever, I'll say, this is good for people who play the Strumstick or other 3-string diatonically fretted guitar-like instrument, whatever, things like that. Speaking of which, there are quite a number of other instruments. I've done some research over the past few months, and it's hard to do, but there are a lot of other instruments that are built on a similar design, a 3-string diatonically fretted. Some are a little bit different than that, but essentially that could fall into what we might call the Strumstick family if that were possible, but it's not because it's a trademark violation. But over here on my left, there's a list of instruments and links. I think there's 26 I think in the list, or maybe more. And most of them have names other than Strumstick. And the reason I'm posting these over here is because here's the deal. Since there's no common term with which to refer to all these instruments, it makes things kind of difficult because there's 3 or 4 different kinds of pick and sticks, and then there's the pick strum and the long neck and the walkabout dulcimer and the strummer from down under, and all these different things, right? And somebody over here who plays a long neck may know nothing of people who play a walkabout, who may know nothing of people who play a pick strum. So, it keeps these players from necessarily finding each other very easily, and from finding other builders who do, similar kinds of instruments very easily. It's not like you're going to buy a guitar or a mandolin or a ukulele. It's very difficult. It's essentially all the same instrument with different names. Not exactly the same. The way a Taylor and an Epiphone and a Gibson are all different, and those models are all different, but they're still all guitars, right? They still go on the same design principles. So I've got over here this list so that people who see this video can see, all the places I've found to get 3-string diatonically fretted instruments. And as often as I remember, I will put this list on my Notastrumstick videos, including where I got the Notastrumstick. Now, the builder, of course, does not call this a Notastrumstick, but I have to here online. Okay, I believe that tells you everything you need to know. I'm going to get back to doing some music. I'm going to post some things that here in the next couple days, I think I will be posting some videos that I made that I haven't been able to post. Hopefully I'll be making some new things. Yeah, and getting back to some playing and less talking. So that's the story of the Notastrumstick, and for now, I'm done talking.